It's the weekend and we have a bit of a leftover northerly blowing this morning, but it's going to be dropping out and I'm still on the downwind journey. I'm I don't know, what are we, 3 sessions in maybe of paddling. I guess to recap the steps I've taken so far, I've put all my like downwind related videos in a playlist, which I'll chuck the link of the playlist in the description below. But basically I took the big foil, so the 7Cs 1500, I took that out my wingboard because the board I was familiar with, the foil I wasn't. Wanted to just have a feel of what the foil was like. And then after that I went out on the downwind board with a familiar foil, so I went out on the 690 on the downwind board just to have a feel of what the downwind board was like. So I took that winging and got used to that a little bit, sort of figuring out some feet placement and that sort of stuff. And then from there I just started the paddle journey. So the first session of paddling was I guess focusing on obviously like getting used to the balance of not having something supporting you other than just the paddle. And outside of that it was learning how to paddle in a straight line. Not so much footwork. From what I discovered, that first session I thought, you know, if you have a powerful paddle stroke and a bit of foot pumping, then that's enough to get you going. That was sort of my impression early, like going into it with no experience. But from that first session I went and watched a bunch of videos and discovered that if anything, the pumping with your feet efficiently is completely make or break. Like if you don't have a powerful foot pump, like if you don't have a powerful body movement to go along with your paddling, then you've got no hope in hell getting up on the foil, especially in flat conditions. Yeah, and then from there, so watched a bunch of videos. My second session then was more focused on the footwork, trying to move the board with my feet at the same time as paddling. And I just like naturally my paddle stroke sort of improved because I'd had a session, slept, like went away, let the muscle memory sort of develop from walking away and coming back. And then second session, yeah, my paddling was just more intuitive and I could feel the muscle memory sort of building, so that was good. Yeah, so made some ground with the footwork in that second session. And then today, my third session, I've gone and watched some of the GoPro footage that I had, and also a few of the James Casey little tech talks, or I can't remember what he calls them. They're like little tutorials where he draws on the page. They're very quick snippets on his YouTube channel, but there's some really good bits of information there. Just taking away things like when your paddle stroke can go from the front of your board to behind you versus when it should only go from the front of your board to roughly where your feet are. How there needs to be a sort of a smooth build in your paddle stroke. From sort of your first few strokes need to be nice and smooth, but you can't just go straight to really aggressively pumping. You've sort of got to have this gradual increase in movement in the board. And if you jump too soon, then you're just gonna kill the foil, because basically what it seems like and what I'll be testing today is like any nose up movement, you have to meet with sort of a nose down movement of sort of roughly equal angle. And if you don't, then the nose of the board's climbing, and then it's just going to sink backwards into the hole that you've created behind you. So that was really interesting. And yeah, I think the one thing I took away from watching myself was the pump for me with my feet was very up and down sort of movement. So I was doing like the squat and catch sort of movement, but I wasn't on the release of the paddle out of the water, I wasn't really lurching forward or like moving forward to finish the foot pump. So similar to what the James Casey videos were talking about, was sort of I was doing that sort of nose up thing, but not finishing off the paddle stroke, or sorry, not finishing off the pump. So yeah, today I think that's going to be my focus. Just like, even if it's just smaller foot pumps, but I want to be more mindful of finishing off the full movement, as opposed to just really focusing on trying to get so much power through the water and everything happening all at the same time. I think in these first few sessions it's been really tempting to just go all out trying to get that miracle flat water paddle up, even though like your brain knows it's not going to happen, but like it's not going to happen early on until you've sort of built that efficiency. But your heart's like, I'm gonna get it, like yeah, it's a funny little situation to be in. So I'm just reminding myself to sort of pare things back, focus on fundamentals. Yeah, those fundamentals are going to be what allows me to actually get the final skill of being able to downwind and then eventually being able to flat water paddle up. Anyway, that's it's a lot of yapping for me today. But yeah, I just wanted to sort of summarize where the journey's at the moment and what I'm going to be focusing on today, and then yeah, we'll take the learnings from today into the next one. All right, I'm going to go set up the board and I will catch you out in the water.
2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Long, long line of roughnecks, saw a mangled family tree. Well, I don't know much about that. I'm a misplaced Yankee. I love the way you talk and the songs you know by heart. I think I wanna be just like you, but I don't know where to start. Is it the boots, the hats, the jeans, the two-stepping on the scene? Well, it's music that I'm after, I'll come clean. I like the way you say y'all, Waylon, Willie, and them all. And I hope that you don't mind that I answer that southern call.
Another session done. I did what was it? Hour and 50, just shy of 2 hours. It was pretty punishing session, I guess. I feel like the learning curve's probably just hit a little bit of a taper. Sort of just refining what I've been learning the first 2 sessions. Towards the end, the northerly actually picked up a little bit, and I had a little bit more of a bump come through. So I actually walked the board as far as I could upwind, and then went out into a little bit more bump. So it was good, like having to play around with some more sea state. Obviously nothing massive because it was only like a, I don't know, 14 knot northerly at most. But could definitely, like I could start playing around with timing of things as sort of the energy of the bump comes through and how that interacts with the paddle stroke and the foot pump. I went out with the intention of playing around with pumping my feet, and I did get a bit of that in, but I'm still not quite there. I think timing wise, I just need to get more and more time, just keep pushing and keep learning. I do think that maybe getting out in like a bit of a bay run, like a very small bay run obviously, just to try getting out in some bigger bumps might help, just to feel what it's like to have power through the foil a bit more. In saying that, like at the very end of the session, I just went for it in terms of paddle stroke, and I feel like I've also made a bit of progress in being able to get more paddles through, like more strokes through the board before I sort of lose balance. So balance is definitely getting better, but yeah, I just need to find that next level of intensity and cadence, I guess, to get enough speed through the board to then get going. Yeah, as expected, we're only 3 sessions in, so progress is being made, which is good. And yeah, just got to keep pushing along. The GoPro was playing up a little bit, the 360 GoPro, so I had it on the paddle today. It'd be interesting to see what that looks like, but also the battery's been a bit funky, so it said 40%, but then it kept dying when I turned it on. So I got a bit of footage, but not a whole bunch. But yeah, go home, review that, see if I can learn anything from that, and yeah, just keep absorbing whatever information I can find on YouTube. Yeah, reporting for the next session. That's about it for me. I'll add this video to my Average Wingfoiler Learns to Downwind playlist, so if this is the first one you've seen, you can go back and see the journey so far. If you've got any downwinding advice, paddling advice, chuck it in the comments below for me and all the other legends that watch these videos. And yeah, that's about it for me, so thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.